Single, a mom, an entrepreneur, juggling it all and talking about topics while on the go. Hi, I'm Lisa Waldron, and this is GO10LISA podcast. Are you ready to listen to the best podcast that's real, inspiring, and sometimes cringe? Okay, get ready, get comfy, and go! Hello, everyone. I am Lisa Waldron, and this is On the Go. Can you believe this is the last On the Go episode for season 10? So, guys, this is what happened. I was talking to my mother the other day. I said earlier this year that I'm going to try and budget, right? But I feel, am I the only one that feels like, okay, we have a little bit of money, in other words, we work for it, and I'm looking like, where's the money? Where's the money? Meaning that I feel like I'm going to the supermarket more. I feel like I'm doing like smaller shopping to try to convince myself like, okay, I'm doing a small shopping on this day, pick up a few items, but then either I'm stressed and I'm eating more. I don't know. Even my dog Lucky is eating more. I don't even know what's going on. Is it that we're not working out because we took a pause on the workout? Like, because the pollen is so bad, I just have no energy. Now my eye is red, I'm like sneezing, itching. I'm like itching in my eyes. One day it's good, one day it's not good. If you know, then go, because the pollen season in the United States is no joke, especially down south, especially in Georgia, because we're surrounded by so many trees. But I was talking to my mom and I was like, oh, I said I did notice that I am eating out a little bit more. But she's like, oh, I don't eat out. I know she cooks all of her meals, right? And that's excellent. However, it's still the same conclusion. You may cook your own food, but then you realize that you also are going to the supermarket or to the store every few days. It's not like what it was before, when I would go like once a week, 1.5 times, maybe 2 times max, but definitely once a week, and, just shop for the week or whatever. Now I feel like I'm going like every other day, and I'm like, why don't I just do the big shopping and just wait? Because it's like, I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like I'm losing grip of reality as far as the prices are so expensive. And then I know it's expensive, but somehow in my mind I'm thinking, okay, I'm spending a few dollars here. Even a bag of chips, guys, is almost like $10. It's like $5.80 something cents for a bag of chips. Come on. And it's like, it's just creeping up and creeping up and creeping up. And I'm like, okay. So I had a talk with my son today about a whole bunch of stuff. And basically, he was telling me that, it took him a while, but then he understands that he has to, budget out. Then I'm telling him, and he's looking at me like, well, I see that you're doing X, Y, and Z. I'm not the same person, guys. I am not the same person how I used to be. I used to be so disciplined and so in control, and kind of like lately I just had the attitude like, I just don't care. Lately I'm just doing my own stuff day by day, and I'm the kind of person where I realize that I do like structure to some degree, but now because I've had structure for so long in my life, it's like now it's just freedom and just doing whatever I want to do. Not to say that I couldn't have done it before, but somehow when things are organized and things are planned out, it kind of actually goes a little bit smoother. But then I've tested the theory of just doing stuff at the spur of the moment, and then it also works out, but then something always gets sacrificed as far as something is put to the back burner. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm going back to try to plan out and organize, and that includes the grocery bills, because either that or, and I can't even plant yet because plant my seeds in my garden because the weather is so up and down, and there's usually a cold frost. And if you know that you plant too early, all of that is going to be wiped out if you have a cold frost. So you might as well just wait, and then you just, have bountiful, hopefully good harvest, for the year. But it is what it is for now, guys. But I know that it's just going to keep getting higher and higher. And now I'm trying to like be a step ahead. How do I be a step ahead? How do I stay focused? How do we not overspend? By not eating out, by planning. Does anybody else feel me? Can anybody else relate? That inflation? That's just the grocery. I haven't even touched on everything else. Now, on to today's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to GO10LISA podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Waldron. It is season 24, episode 10. Today is the last recorded episode for season 24. If you're new, the way that it works is that I come out with a new season by producing 10 episodes, 10 different topics, right? Then I take a 3-week break and come back with a new episode. So right now I've already completed 9 episodes for season 24, and this is number 10. And usually you guys love my Go topics. It used to be hot topics, but now I call it Go topics. So what I do is that I take what I feel for that season or for that moment, 10 things to discuss, 10 hot topics that's been happening around town, wherever, in the entertainment business, something, whatever, or just give you guys an update of the previous 9 topics that I've talked about, because, I do one each week as far as the episode. So we're going to jump right into the top 10 Go topics for season 24. And I just want to say, guys, season 24 was a trial run also as far as putting it out on YouTube. I've been consistent, except for this one is a little bit late coming out today. But as far as the episodes being uploaded to the podcast platforms, that has been going good. I just need to be more disciplined and work on producing the videos for YouTube, because beginning of season 24, GO10LISA podcast is now available to watch on YouTube. So you get to listen to it still on any platform, any podcast app. And don't forget to subscribe on both platforms, which is YouTube and any podcast app. So therefore you get to stay alert as far as the happenings and what's going on. So, what I'm going to talk about is, number one, the hot topic that's going on today is the solar eclipse. Is happening today, which is the day that the GO10LISA number 10 episode is rolling out. And today is April 8th, 2024. So I didn't realize that the last one, I remember it because I was working in the corporate world, and the last solar eclipse happened in 2017. I remember that the company that I work for provided everyone with the solar eclipse glasses for us to wear. And then here's a little secret, guys. They say you're not supposed to look, because what's happened during the eclipse is that, the moon is covering the sun, and that happens, every years or whatever. And let me see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so yeah, because somebody was telling me that they remember seeing it when it was in 2009. I don't remember that. But anyway, it's come to the point that, let me just start over by saying that I did wear my glasses, but somewhere towards the end, I took off my glasses and I did stare up. They recommend that you don't do it because you're going to go blind, right? But guess what? I've spoken to a few people around town, and a couple of us did the same thing. So I don't recommend that, but I did do it just to see. It was a little bit hazy afterwards, but I didn't stare at it the whole time the eclipse was in sight. So for today's date, which is April 8th, 2024, we're not going to see it 100% like we did back in 2017 here in Georgia, but some parts of the world. The way that I saw it on the map is going to be from Texas. It's like there's a straight line from Texas all the way up north, but the line is not straight. It's kind of like slanted. So that means that certain parts of some states are going to see it clear as day, and that includes Texas, Mexico. So that's why Texas shut down everything today, from what I understand on the radio. And they even closed the schools. And this is their logic, which doesn't make any sense. They closed the schools because they're not sure that the teachers are going to keep the kids inside and not look up at the solar eclipse. But then my argument to that statement is, well, what do you think the teachers have been doing all this time in school? Haven't they been keeping the kids inside? What's the likelihood that a kid is going to go rogue, especially if they're younger, and go to the window? How many kids are going to go to the window? It doesn't make sense, but I get what they're saying. They don't want any liability, or if something happened to their children's eye, I get it. So, and maybe some families want to experience it with their families, with their kids, and maybe they camp out or whatever. I did hear that a guy drove from Georgia to Ohio so he can see it. So, then I said to people, is this the excitement of our times? The solar eclipse? We have nothing else to be excited about? I missed it because I was inside. I think I was taking a nap by then, because I've done a lot this morning, and I was just resting, and now I'm up doing some more stuff. And I was like, I saw it back in 2017. I probably saw it when I was younger and don't remember it like a lot of us. And the next one is going to be in 20 years. So at the end of the day, that's one of the topics, that's the hot topics, one of the go topics that's happening around town, guys, or, especially in the United States, is the solar eclipse. Because what is the likelihood that the moon is going to cover the sun and block out the sun, and therefore you can't see it, or vice versa, whichever way. And some people, from what I saw on TikTok, some people celebrated last night because, the world does spin. So they were able to see it last night, and then I guess the rest of us saw it today. So yeah, so that's what's happening. That's number one. Number two, and some of these topics may be a little bit, in the past couple of months, maybe old news, but I already had it on my list when it was happening, But Martina Navratilova, if you know that name, if you are a tennis player or a tennis lover like I am, you know that name. It is a iconic name, Martina Navratilova. When I first heard of Martina Navratilova is when I was in high school. I was on the tennis team. My son's father played tennis. Our son played tennis. We love tennis. Now everyone is playing paddleball like it's the newest thing since sliced rice or something, or ice something. But to me, I just look at paddleball like it's a lower version of tennis, because tennis is so strategic. It is so, you have to be a true tennis lover to love that game. And don't get me wrong, I like I'm saying paddleball, it's pickleball. And you have to love pickleball to the point that more people are going out and doing it, and more people are getting workout by doing it. So pickleball is more like a ping pong / tennis combination, but the ball is lighter, kind of like a smaller version of volleyball, but not really, because you're using smaller paddles. So it's more like a ping pong thing or whatever, but just on a larger scale. But anyway, Martina Navratilova, one of the tennis icons of the day, really, really good tennis player back in the day, tennis champion, she announced that she has breast and throat cancer. So my thoughts and prayers go out to her, because that is just tragic and devastating to hear, and having to go through that. Anybody who has to go through that, But she's had a good career, I used to love when she and what was her rival, Chris? Why can't I remember her last name? Christina. Christina. Why can't I remember her name? I just remember her first name, like on personal basis with all of them. Oh, these were back in the day, guys. Back in the days, the greats. But she's one of the greats. So I just hope that she recovers well and go through this. So that's number 2. Number 3, North Carolina is implementing a no mirror in the bathroom policy. So therefore, it would be less frequent by the students to go to the bathroom. So basically what happened is that they realized that a lot of the kids are going to the bathroom a lot, and they're spending a long time in there, and they suspect that they're doing either a TikTok video or other stuff like that. So what North Carolina is allegedly trying to do is that they're trying to implement a no mirror in the bathroom policy. So therefore, it would be less frequent by the students to go to the bathroom. If this takes off, then what's going to happen is that they can't get to go to the bathroom or go to the bathroom, but they can't see themselves. And I guess they think that they're going to do a lot of TikTok videos, like I said. So let's picture this. There is no mirror in the bathroom. Well, they still have their phone. But I guess what they're trying to say is that they can't pretty up themselves. I mean, the only time you will see a bathroom with no mirrors is probably if you're doing a road trip and you stop at those one-off gas stations, those roadside places, and you just use their bathroom, which is normally at the side of their building or back of their building or something, and it has no mirrors. What you would do is that you would hurry up and do your number 1 or number 2 and hurry up and get the heck out of there, because 9 times out of 10, it's usually yucky and nasty in there. So, but this is a school. This is a school. So if they take down all the mirrors in the bathroom of a school, they're still going to use the bathroom for what it's used for, but would the girls and the guys still, take out their phones and do TikTok videos? They probably will for the first couple of weeks to say, hey, we're in the school bathroom and there's no mirrors. Or what the girls will probably do is bring their own mirrors if they haven't have one in their pocketbook already. You know what I mean? So on to the next one. That's 3, number 4. This one may be a little bit outdated, but one of the popular young stars right now, Kristen, has her ex-boyfriend's face tattooed on her face. OMG. OMG. Now, she just had a baby. When you have a baby, you go through a lot of emotions. She's gone through a lot of stuff recently, before she had the baby, during the pregnancy, after the baby. And they're a popular couple, broken up. They do a lot of their personal life drama out there for everyone to see, which is probably what the majority of influencers or creators or singers or reality stars do. But the only other person that I think lately that has something tattooed on their face is Mike Tyson, but he's a man, she's a woman, and to have a big picture of your ex-boyfriend on one side of your face. I heard that just to remove a tattoo from your body is more work than putting a tattoo on your body. But to have it on your beautiful face, wow. That's something you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. And I don't know how you're going to cover that up unless you wear... What was that show? There was a show a long time ago where the woman... it was some kind of old-time movie where the woman... Oh, no, it wasn't. Guess what it was, guys? It was General Hospital back in the day with Anna Devane. If you know, comment and put your hands up or say you remember. Remember when back in the day when Anna Devane was on General Hospital and when she was meeting Robert Scorpio? How do I remember that? Oh my God, I was just a young kid watching it. Oh my gosh. And when she first came on the scene, she would always have her hair on one side of her face. And she would never show that side of the face. And people would always wonder, why did she have one side of her face? You only see the one eye. Why? Because she had a scar on the one side and she felt, she didn't feel pretty. So long story short, she finally revealed it. They got surgery. Now she's beautiful. And, that's soap opera world. But that's what it reminds me of. Like, what is she going to do? Wear her hair to one side of her face for a long, long time to cover up the tattoo? Who knows? But anyway, guys, okay. So the next one is, I said at the beginning of season 24 that I was going to talk about Meghan Markle and I was going to talk about Kanye. Well, guess what? They happened to make it in the Go Topics Top 10. I didn't want to do a full episode on them because I've already did a full 2 episodes, as a matter of fact, maybe even 3, talked about Kate Middleton and the whole royal family. So I didn't want to, like influx and give a whole bunch of stuff about the royal family. But I do want to give a big shout out to Meghan because she has a new website and it's called American Rivera Orchid. The one thing I have to say about Meghan and her previous website that she had, what was it, the tick or the, I forgot what it's called, but anyway, it was beautifully done. And of course, she had to give that up because of the royal family. And I'm glad that she's able to have she has a gift. She has a gift in creating these websites. And I wish she can create my website and my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I wish she can revamp it for me. You know what I mean? But she does beautiful work, and I think that's a beautiful gift that she has. She has a knack for it, and she does it very beautifully. So that's my only talk about Meghan for this season, other than leave her alone, people of Europe. Okay, so number 6. This one is kind of out there and a little bit funny, and it's not too go against somebody and how they are or whatever, but you're going to realize what I'm saying. So I was on TikTok, and I came across, when the whole Marley movie was coming out with Bob Marley. So there was this TikToker and he was pronouncing it as, the name like, oh yes, it's Bob Marley. Bob Marley. Is everyone going to see the Bob Marley movie? And I was like, who's he trying to say? Bob Marley? Bob Marley and Bob Marley is 2 different pronunciations. So it was funny. I was like, what on earth? Marley, Bob Marley, but what I try to do as a conscious effort when I meet someone and they have a very, very, very unique name, I try to pronounce it. 8 times out of 10, I get it right. And then they would either correct me or they would say, or I would say, even though I may have gotten it right, I would explain to them, did I get it right? Did I pronounce it right? Because people are funny with their names and people don't care. Some people care, some people don't care. But I look at the parents or guardians or whoever who named that child that name has some kind of meaning. So it's like I mispronounced somebody's name and she quickly corrected me. And then I said it again to make sure that I got it. And of course I apologized. But yeah, I was like, Bob Marley. I was like, okay, interesting. Okay, number 7. This person, oh my gosh, this person is on the Go 10 topics list. I didn't even want to talk about him during this season, but I figured I'll talk about him because it is what's happening now and it's all over every social media news and whatever. And it's about P. Diddy. Even my mother knows about it. Even people I wouldn't even think knows about it. My aunt knows about it. And then they're asking me, what did he do again and whatever? Here's the thing. The only thing I'm going to say is that allegedly what he's accused of, I think is disgusting. I think if he is found guilty, that, the proper punishment applies. But I've spoken to people around town about it, right? Because it just happened to be the hot topic or something or something or whatever. And some people don't understand it. Some people said that they're fully invested. Some people have been tracking it and keeping up with everything. I hear bits and pieces of it when I'm in the radio or if I'm talking to someone. And when I'm talking to someone, they kind of fill me in on what, the ones who are fully invested, what they think or know or whatever. All I have to say is that, and I even have people that come up to my table at the market. Some guy was talking to me. We were talking about a whole bunch of different stuff, and then that came up. And from a guy's perspective, he was saying that allegedly that he felt that from the girl's point of view, that the girls knew exactly what they were walking into. And I said, well, not necessarily if you're going to a party and the liquor is drugged, allegedly, and you don't know. Think about this. You're going to a party. You go into a party and they're serving free champagne or free tequila or free whatever. You're going to take it because you're thinking and trusting the host, right? And thinking that everything is fine. Only for you to drink it and be knocked out, and then next thing you know, you're allegedly having this orgy or somebody's gang raping you or something, God forbid, or whatever. And his argument is, if you know that's the type of party and those parties are considered like out there wild and crazy, then you know what it is that you're walking into when you go to those kind of parties. I understand his view. I'm not fully vested in it. I just know high level. I don't know all the ins and outs, but it's very interesting. And then I spoke to another lady, and she's fully fully invested in the story, meaning that she knows all the details that they're outlining and everything. And she also agrees that it is bad and disgusting and this is, all this kind of stuff. But here's my take on it. I don't think it's a one-man show. Just like with the Epstein thing, allegedly, is this a branch off from the Epstein situation? Or there's no way on earth this one person can mastermind this whole thing and been doing it for years and getting away with it. There's no way one person. There has to be other people involved. That is my take on it. That's my take on it. And some people even said around town that they feel that maybe he's a scapegoat, that there are people higher up that are involved and they're letting the black man the scapegoat. Listen, whatever case it may be, whether he's a scapegoat or not, he allegedly did something that was not good. And it involved a lot of women and children, or it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. So to me, looking from the outside in, it kind of looks like it's a branch off from the whole Epstein thing that's going on and whatever. And if that's the case, these things have been going on for years. So that means that a lot of people knew about it, said nothing, or either said something and they killed them off allegedly, or they paid them off allegedly. This is a very, very evil world. And when you get money and you have millions and billions of money, it's like, what the heck are you doing with it? Like, I saw a TikTok video, and TikTok is where I get my news people, because these are people from the streets telling stories and telling theories and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't know half the stuff. I live in my own bubble, guys. Okay, here's the thing. Did you guys know, according to TikTok, one of the videos that I was watching, that there is a group allegedly of about 2,500 members, allegedly. I have to say allegedly, okay? Because these are people who are rich. They mention a famous actor's name. I won't repeat it, but they're like rich people. And they said that they're very satanic. I was like, what the heck? And they are near the Nevada area. So near some bushed areas covered up with bushes and trees and whatever. And they sit there, all 2,500 of them allegedly, and plan out the fate of the world. Do you believe this nonsense? You believe this? What I'm repeating to you guys? And I'm like, this is actually happening in the world. There's probably other stuff I'm not aware of and I don't want to be aware of or whatever. But it's like that's what you do when you have money. It's like you try to control people and take away the narrative. I just finished watching this movie with Bruce Willis called Glass. Who knew that Glass is a continuation of Split? I actually saw Split first, but Split and Glass is actually a continuation from, was it Departed or something? Some other movie that Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis did years ago with the train. And then from that came Split, and then from that came Glass. And I won't give away the story, but basically, it was revealed that there was some kind of secret society at the end that was trying to do balance for the world. I was like, what the heck? And it's like some people take shows and try to turn it into reality. And there's some people who have nothing else to do but to create havoc. And people, that is not good. Okay? This is why we all need to do right and do good. Anyway, I talk more about that another time, but that is number 7 about P. Diddy. Number 8. Did you know that a lot of people are leaving the United States of America to live in other countries? Did you know that? I actually saw a YouTube couple yesterday talk about it. I've been discussing it with my family. I've been discussing it with a whole bunch of people. And this YouTube, listen to this now. Listen to this. This YouTube couple have over 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube. And apparently they have a lot of followers on TikTok, and they have a lot of followers on Instagram. So they were thinking about moving to Costa Rica because they think that it's cheaper there. So a lot of people are leaving the United States because they feel like we're second generation immigrants, meaning that our parents migrated to the United States and we're second generation. And people are, I think since COVID, people are being woken up a little bit, or a lot of truths have been coming out, especially in 2024. They probably have been before, but more and more people are more aware of it, if you know what I mean. And they're saying that it's not the big old American dream like everyone, that they sold people for it to be, you know what I mean? Inflation, like what I talked about in On the Go, is lots of stuff is on the rise. Now, check this out. If they have a lot of followers and they have a good stream of income, and they were talking about, if TikTok is banned, that they'll lose that money, but they still have money coming in from the other platforms, right? The bottom line is that they're doing good. So they have 3 small children. I forgot the name of their channel. If you know, comment below. And they're talking about if things are bad that they want to leave. And they're probably about 95% sure they're going to leave. You know what I mean? And so they're saying if they're feeling it on that level, what do people who are making less money, what are they going through? Hello? It doesn't matter what level, everybody's feeling the pinch, you know what I mean? And they're right to be concerned about the people who are not making as much as them or whatever, because how much longer are we going to be able to sustain our living? But here is the messed up part, the twist of things. Even though they said people are leaving like ants, those were their words, like even that their ants comes, when you see a colony of ants, they're usually not one. There's a whole bunch of them, right? People are leaving, and I've spoken to people since beginning of this year, and it is true. A lot of people are leaving the United States and going, and a lot of them have been going to Jamaica. A lot of them have been going to islands, selling their house, and it's not even old people, or should I say mature people. It's young people. I commend someone if they can pick up and go to another country and don't know anybody, or even another state, even another city, and don't know anybody. I commend you, because that is very, very brave of you to do. Now, of course, these countries have their guidelines. They're not going to let everybody in. You know what I mean? And then they have to question, why are you coming to our country and this and that. But there are a lot of Americans that live in Jamaica, believe it or not, which I was surprised about. I was very surprised about that, because I know it was mostly European and Canadians and all those other side of the world. But I didn't expect that a lot of Americans who fell in love with the country, what's not to love, you know? But Barbados is nice. Other countries, other islands are nice as well. You know what I mean? But Costa Rica, they found it's beautiful and the cost of living is a little bit down. But they also mentioned that a lot of U.S. residents or people from U.S. are moving to Costa Rica as well. Maybe I should move to Costa Rica too, huh? I met a couple who said that their daughter I was talking about the subject to them, and they said that their daughter lives in St. Thomas. Here I am thinking St. Thomas was a separate island, and they were like, no, it's part of the U.S. And I was like, okay, how did I forget that? But anyway, that and the Virgin Islands and whatever they were saying. But yeah, a lot of people are leaving the U.S. It's kind of interesting. But the sad twist of this is that now the little islands are now becoming just as expensive as the U.S. So it's like, why jack up the price? Why? Just to monopolize on money? Oh my gosh. Then what everyone is saying, the same thing. If that is the case, what happened to the residents of these islands? What happened to the poor people? What happened to the people who were already struggling, and now you already raised the price? What happens to them now? Can anyone tell me? Because if they can't afford it, and now you're jacking up the price on their little island, come on now, where are they going to run to? This is not America where you can push them out to the outskirts and, regenify, or whatever you want to do. Where are they going to go to? You know what I mean? So, food for thought. Number 9. This one is kind of interesting. It's election time over here in the United States. This year is election year. I can't believe it came so fast. I don't talk about politics because, it's the same old. But what I found interesting, because I had family members talk about it, and I said, this is just something else, This is election year 2024 in the United States. And of course, it's the bid for presidency, right? I'm not kept up on it, don't really care about it, but I did ask, I think one of my aunts the other day, who exactly is running? It's a shame that I live here and I don't know who's running. Like, I know there was a lot of candidates at the beginning, but who are the final 2 now? Or something like that I asked. And it's going to be Biden and Trump. So, here we go again, people. And what I found so interesting is that the other day, I saw Trump selling the Bible. What was it for? $59.99 or $49? I think it was $59.99 or was it $49.99? I'm more leaning towards $59.99. Why on earth is he selling Bibles? And the first thing that went to my mind is, great. Now you're holding up the Bible and talking about you're selling it, and now you're telling your followers to it's like you're sending out a message, allegedly, God forbid, against Christian people. That's how I took it. Why on earth would you be selling the Bible when you have money? Why? Did he finally have a wake-up call and realize that he needs Jesus? I don't understand. Where is the money going to go to? Who profits from that money? And who wrote that Bible? What version of the Bible is it? Not everyone it's like saying, you have to know for yourself, people, who the real God is. You know what I mean? You have to know for yourself. And the only way to know is to read the Bible and know the truth. And anyone can say this and that or whatever. You have to know it for yourself. Now, on the flip side of that, here we go with the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, allegedly recognizing that Jesus is black. So here I go again, like, what the heck? What is going on? Why all of a sudden, like, he's selling Bibles and now he's talking about Jesus is black? So then now, before this podcast started, I did my research, and now there's this whole bunch of fact checks and talking about the video doesn't show Putin saying Jesus was black. The post falsely claimed video showed Russian president saying Jesus was black. Fact check. Putin did not discuss black Jesus in major speech. Fact check. Putin did not discuss black Jesus in whatever. So, then here goes CNN. I'm looking at it on my thing on the post. Was Jesus a man of color? Why this question matters more than ever. Hello, go read your Bible, people, and you will know what color he is. Okay? Putin shows us Jesus is black. Listen, I myself have been talking to a bunch of people. I've been watching TikTok and whatever. And here's a little side note. Like I said, 2024, there's a lot more truths coming out. Guess what I just found out, guys? That the map that we're looking at is not the map. They've lied. Who's they? The powers that be that created the map. The governments all together. Who the heck knows? Maybe it's those 2,500 people doing bad stuff. Who the heck knows? Over there in the bush. If you look at a map, like let's say you buy a map. It's a big map. You open it up and you look at the world, right? Like somebody was telling me, and I did my research on it. They said what was it? The river that's near us. Oh my God, what is it? The Chattanooga River. So Georgia has a Chattanooga River that runs throughout Georgia, different areas, you can see it or whatever. They said the Chattanooga River is not where it's supposed to be. So this guy told me that. I was like, what? And then I looked at it. He said, yeah. And I talked to somebody else and they said, yes, it's true. The map is not real. Meaning that, check this out. If you're looking at the map, let's say you're in Georgia, and I'm just going to give you, I should have had the Pacific destination and coordinates for you people. So sorry that I don't have it. But I'm just going to give you a hypothetical scenario here, but it's similar to reality, okay? So let's say that I am in Roswell, which is a rich area, and I want to go to, I'm visiting, and this is, if you look at the map of Atlanta, you will see a circle. The circle is the 285 road. Let's say that you're in Roswell, which is probably a little bit north of the circle, somewhere within the middle to the north of the circle. Let's say I want to go visit the Chattanooga River, right? The map I will pull out or buy or something would say the Chattanooga River is to my right and left. So when you're looking at the map and you're getting in your car and you're driving to the right and the left, well, guess what? There's no river to the right and the left. You know why? Because the river is to the left and to the bottom. I said, what? Why on earth would they do that? Okay, I can understand if one map was coincidentally made in error and they didn't have the money to correct it, but all the maps? So I say all this to say that the map of the world may not look like what it is when you actually go there. Some of the black continents and black countries are actually bigger than what is portrayed on the map. Food for thought. Something for you to think about, people, and do your own research. Comment and let me know if you heard about this or what do you guys think? But I'm like, why? Why, people? Why? I don't understand the why. Why would you send someone down the wrong road? Why? Why would you purposely do that? Why? Why? So, in regards to Jesus being black, I want you all to answer that. Go read your Bible. It clearly tells you and describes, But anyway. And number 10, Kanye. Yay. Kanye. Kanye, I'm going to call you Kanye or Ye. I don't know which name you're going by, but I'm just going to say Ye. But I'm just going to say Kanye so people know that it's Kanye, but it's actually Ye. So Kanye, Ye, you know that I'm always on your side. I've cried for you a couple of times, because I felt it in my spirit. I felt like, I don't know what it was, but I just cried and, if you listen to all my past episodes, and my Kanye episodes, you would hear, whatever. I've never met this man before. I don't know nothing other. I don't know much about him, but other than what I do know, what I've spoken about. But I do have to say one thing this one time that is not in favor of Ye. And it's not necessarily Ye, it's more his wife. I tend to agree with the people out there in the streets, the people talking about your wife's clothing. It's none of my business, but I kind of look, just like how I felt it and felt kind of sorry for Kanye or whatever, because when all these people were saying these whole bunch of stuff, I looked at the videos of her and I can see it in her eyes. I don't know what it is that I'm looking at, but I can see that I don't think she's happy. I don't think that, I don't think that she's happy portraying the outfits that she's wearing. I could be totally 1000% incorrect. It's just a feeling that I have, and I can tell in her eyes. Some women, when they're married, they are, I don't want to say submissive, but the man is typically the head of the household or whatever. But at some point, you have to voice your opinion to that said person, head of the house, and tell them, in other words, the head of the household, which is your husband most likely, would want the best interests for you. I know that Ye is very, very creative. I don't even know if it's his clothes that she's modeling. I don't know whose clothes it is that she's wearing around town. But I do feel that it sends a message to the younger folks, especially the young girls. And with everything that's going on in the world, with all this sex trafficking and all these other stuff, you don't want to... People look up to you guys, and I don't want them to take it wrong that that's how they should be projecting themselves, to be seen and heard and to feel important. I am sure that woman has a wonderful brain, and I'm sure she's very smart, very articulate, but I just get the sense that, just my opinion, that me don't like it. I don't like it. It's not for me to like. You're her husband. She's your wife. But I think that she could be a little bit covered up more, especially down there at the bottom. So I get it. I get that we wear bathing suits to the beach. I get it. I get that it's a form of art. I get it. However, this is why it's very, very tricky when people come after people who claim to be Christians, or people who trying to do it, and then people are so quick to judge a Christian person versus a bad person, if that makes sense. So I say that to say that you can do whatever you want. This is just my opinion. I'm still for you guys, but I feel like her eyes are telling me that she's not she's not happy. You can tell when a person is happy, and normally their eyes or their facial expression tells it all. And I can tell, I feel that listen, I can talk about me all day long and how I feel when I wear certain outfits and whatever. You feel self-conscious. So can you imagine? And some people are all about nudity. Some people are all about self-expression, and it is a body and it's clothing. And I think we put too much emphasis in the designer clothing and how much money it is and whatever. But I think that there's a time and a place for everything. And I don't think going to the supermarket dressed like that, unless you're near a beach or something, there's a time and place. But then again, I'm the kind of person where I do what I want to do too, but I'm not going to draw unnecessary attention like that unless you want the attention. So I'm just pointing out that it's interesting, and that's all I have to say on that. You continue doing. If she's content and she's happy, then that's fine. But that's all I have to say on that. It's none of my business. That's all I have to say. But I did have to note it because I talked about everything else about Kanye before. I didn't really touch on the kids because I think kids are off limits to that. And I didn't touch on his divorce with Kim, but we all know everything happens for a reason. But I talked about the majority of things, especially when people were talking about that he's crazy and stuff. Nobody's crazy. I think sometimes when people tell the truth, you're not used to the truth, so therefore you go against the truth, and you call people crazy to discredit them because you don't want the truth to be told. And 9 times out of 10, that crazy person is always telling the truth, and nobody is crazy. Okay? So, but in this case, I do agree that the clothing, but like I said, you're more artistic than I will ever be. You're more fashionable than I will ever be. And I don't understand the covering up of the face. I don't understand what that is all about. But if that's what makes you happy and to make a statement, then do you. Like I always say to people, do you, boo, and I will do me, as far as I do what I want to do and you guys do what you want to do. But from my perspective, that's all I have to say on that subject. Well, guys, this is the end of season 24. Thank you, Lord. I was able to complete it. Thank you. I have to be more organized. Thank you for joining me as I work through all the nicks and kinks and getting ready to prepare for season 25, God's willing. Because season 25, I'm going to change up how I do the YouTube videos, but I was just testing out the waters just to see how it would flow if I did still pictures versus live pictures or live recordings, so more to come as I work it all out, folks. Thank you. You're listening to GO10LISA podcast with Lisa Waldron, where you can find a new episode each week by typing in GO, the number 10, followed by LISA. GO10LISA is all one word. GO10LISA podcast can be found on any podcast app. Just type it in, see my pink hair, subscribe, share, listen. Don't forget that this is the last episode of season 24. I'll be back in 3 weeks. I'll take a 3-week break and I'll be back for season 25. Thank you all for subscribing, listening, telling a friend. Until next time, peace, love. Bye.